Biography of Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe was an American writer, poet, editor, and literary critic, best known for his tales of mystery and macabre. Born on Boston, Massachusetts, he was an opera-hearted and young age for raised by John and Frances Allan in Richmond, Virginia. His life was marked by tragedy, financial difficulty, and personal loss, all of which profoundly influenced this work. In his work, most relevant works: The Raven, 1845. His most famous poem full of guarded imagery and emotional intensity, The Title Her, 1843. A psychological short story exploring guilt and madness, The Fall of the House of Usher, 1839. A chilling history about decay, madness, and family curse, The Masque of Red Death, 1842. An lyrical tale about death and inevitability, Annabel Lee, 1849. A romantic and haunting poem written shortly before his death, The Murders in the Row Morgue, 1841. Considered the first modern detective story. Literary currents. Romanticism, a particularly dark romanticism, a subgenre focusing on human fallibility, sin, and the darker sides of the nature and the soul. Gothicism. His works often use Gothic elements such as haunted settings, physiological horror, and supernatural themes. Most used in literary genres: poetry, short stories, detective fiction, and horror and Gothic fiction. Literary period. Poets is locally in American Romantic period, early to mid of 18th century, especially under the dark Romantic tradition that emerges as a reaction of themes of the transnationalists. Literal analysis of The Raven. The Raven, El Cuervo in Spanish, is one of the most iconic narrative poems in American literature, which was published in 1845. It combines musicality, seamless language, and supernatural atmosphere to explore themes of loss and madness. Central theme, or central topic. The central topic of The Raven is grief of the psychological torment caused by the loss of a loved one. The poem delves into narrator's descent into madness and mourns his beloved Leonora and confronts the finality of death. Protagonist, narrator, a soulful soul man grieving the death of Leonora. His emotional insanity grows through the poem. The Raven, a mysterious black beard that enters his chamber and becomes a symbolic figure, possibly representing fate, death, or eternal grief. Leonora, the narrator's lost love. Mentioned but not present, she symbolizes purity, loss, and unity place. Conflicts. Internal conflicts. The narrator wrestled with sorrow, despair, and growing madness. Man versus supernatural. The Raven cryptic, the repetitions of nevermore, intensifies the narrator's emotional agony, suggesting the presence of the supernatural of symbolic force. Poetic structure. Mere touches of timbre, a rare and musical rhythm of the strength symbolic followed by understand one. Rhyming scheme ABCVVV with heavy use international rhyming and alliterations. Refrain: the word never more. Repeated at the end sheds stand and adds rhythm and emotional width. Composition: The poem consists in 8 stanzas of the 6-line each. Poe designs the poem using highly methodical and deliberate approach, with he later explained in his essay, The Philosophy of Composition. The tone is melancholic, super soulful, and incredible, desperate, supported by Gothic imaginary and musical language.